Earth became a haunting wasteland where mysterious creatures known as reapers systematically decimated 99% of humanity. These enigmatic predators harbored an inexplicable limitation. They mysteriously avoided attacking humans at altitudes above 8,000 feet, inadvertently creating islands of survival in select mountainous regions. A young boy named Hunter, whose life is defined by both vulnerability and curiosity. One fateful day, driven by youthful impulse, Hunter ventured beyond the carefully marked blue boundary line, a dangerous threshold separating safety from certain death. Narrowly escaping a reaper hunting just below the safe altitude, he returned home to face the searing concern of his father, Will. Will's anxiety stems from more than typical parental worry. Hunter suffers from a debilitating lung condition that severely limits his mobility, making every risky adventure a potential death sentence. Since losing his wife Tara, Hunter represents Will's entire world. When Will shares the incident with his neighbor Katie, her sympathy reflects the settlement's collective understanding of their precarious existence. In the adjacent yard, a woman named Nina wages her own silent war against the Reapers. Methodically testing various metal alloys, she crafts bullets and fires them against Reaper armor, searching relentlessly for a weakness. Will watches her experiments with a mixture of skepticism and painful memory, recalling Tara's final mission, a dangerous expedition to secure essential chemicals that ultimately claimed her life. That night, Hunter experiences another medical crisis. Will's skilled hands manage to stabilize his son, but a chilling realization settles over him. Their crucial medication supplies are rapidly dwindling. The next morning, he purchases macaroni now, an astronomical luxury, to celebrate Hunter's birthday, knowing it's his son's favorite dish. Amidst their survival, Hunter's curiosity turns to their communication equipment. When he asks why they no longer use the radio, Will explains the harsh realities of their world. Electricity has become an impossibly precious resource, carefully rationed to power Hunter's life support machine. With their filter supplies critically low, Will knows he must undertake a perilous journey to the nearest town, a destination that lies treacherously below their safe altitude. The fabric of routine survival unraveled when Katie, a close friend of the late Tara, visited Will. Their conversation drifted to memories of weekends past, a nostalgic reminder of life before the invasion, a world that now seemed like a distant dream. Their reminiscence was abruptly punctuated by a sudden gunshot from Nina's yard, where relentless experimentation continued. That night, Hunter's medical condition spiraled into another crisis. Will's hands moved with practiced precision, administering an injection that barely managed to subdue the escalating symptoms. The next day, a critical decision crystallized. Will would journey to the town, believing he knew a route others deemed impossible. When Will approached Nina about his plans, her skepticism was immediate and sharp. "There's no safe road," she declared, her words cutting through his resolve. Nina's warnings painted a grim picture. The mountain passes were Reaper hunting grounds, treacherous territories where survival seemed more myth than possibility. But Will revealed his secret weapon, an abandoned mine that would cut directly through the mountain, significantly reducing exposure to the predators. Her response was swift and dire. "The Reapers originated underground," Nina reminded him. "Mines are their natural habitat." Yet Will's determination remained unshaken. He knew the mine's layout, and the travel distance was relatively short. A meeting time was set, though Nina made it abundantly clear she would not be joining the expedition. After Will's departure, Nina's gaze lingered on a pirate flag, a symbol of her unbroken promise to one day raise it victoriously over the mountains, once she discovered a method to combat the Reapers. The following morning brought a flurry of preparation. At the local gunsmith's, Will procured a rifle and grenades, weapons that, while not particularly effective against the predators, could potentially slow them down. Katie's arrival disrupted Will's carefully laid plans. Upset that he hadn't disclosed his intentions, she armed herself and declared her participation, brooking no argument. Nina's response was instantaneous and hostile. She lambasted Katie's inexperience, pointing out that she had never even seen a Reaper up close. The expedition, Nina predicted with chilling certainty, was a death sentence. Will outlines the initial strategy. They'll utilize an abandoned ski lift to descend to the mine entrance, hoping the equipment remains intact and operational. As the group prepares to set out, Nina reveals her own mission, reaching her laboratory to retrieve a specific chemical crucial to her research. Her preparedness becomes evident as she produces two remarkable inventions, a compass and a groundbreaking device capable of detecting Reapers by sensing their extraordinary bioelectromagnetic impulses, signatures far more intense than any known creature on Earth. Their journey soon leads them to a fire road approximately a mile from the ski slope, marking the definitive boundary of their safe zone. Crossing this invisible line, the group advances with heightened vigilance, weapons at the ready. Wrecked vehicles scattered across the landscape become unexpected treasure troves of supplies and potential weaponry. Katie, revealing her Texan roots, claims a grenade launcher with practiced expertise. Meanwhile, Nina's keen eye spots a fragment of Reaper scale, triggering a volatile confrontation. Katie's raw emotions burst forth, blaming Nina for Tara's death, while Nina dismisses her as an inexperienced interference. Will swiftly intervenes, diffusing the escalating tension. A surprising moment of natural beauty interrupts their mission. A distant whinny reveals wild horses roaming freely through the mountain landscape, a testament to nature's resilience in this post-invasion world. The ski resort looms before them, safety seemingly within reach. Yet Nina's warning shatters their momentary hope. A Reaper already lurks nearby. Will and Nina race to activate the backup generators powering the lift, while Katie maintains a vigilant guard, grenade launcher at the ready. The encounter unfolds with heart-stopping intensity. The Reaper emerges from the forest's edge. Katie fires, but her grenade misses the creature's incredible agility. As the monster charges, Will successfully powers the lift. He and Nina leap into the gondola, Will providing cover fire to give Katie a chance to escape. In a desperate, acrobatic moment, Katie is forced to jump, barely catching the lift's seat. The Reaper, relentless in its pursuit, grabs the cable with a tentacle, snapping it. The group plummets to the ground, miraculous survivors who manage to retreat to the safe zone. That night, sheltered in an old guardhouse, vulnerability surfaces. Katie admits her terror, finally comprehending the true nature of their enemy. Nina offers a chilling perspective. These Reapers are unlike any predator they've encountered. They neither rest nor consume humans, yet kill with unremitting precision. Their selective destruction of other creatures leads Nina to question their very biological essence. As night enveloped the old guardhouse, Will's memories drifted to a pivotal argument with Tara. She had passionately urged him to trust Nina, believing she could save the world. Will had vehemently resisted, unable to comprehend risking everything, especially with a vulnerable son dependent on them. Nina, having no family, had nothing to lose, but Tara saw beyond their immediate survival, reminding Will that Hunter's life support filters would eventually fail without action. The next morning, the group approached an old mine intimately familiar to Will from his previous mining days. However, the lower levels plunged perilously below the safe zone, exposing them to potential Reaper encounters. Poorly sealed tunnels compounded the inherent risks. Will's confidence rested on the minimal distance, a mere 210 meters, and Nina's tracker's ability to detect nearby threats. Nina's cynicism cut through his optimism. Underground, her tracking device would prove useless, and the carbon dioxide humans naturally exhale could instantly attract Reapers. Her frustration palpable, Nina nonetheless took the lead, descending first into the mine's treacherous depths. Their progress halted abruptly. A welded metal barrier blocked their intended path, forcing them to descend another level, unquestionably outside their safe zone. Will's determination remained unbroken, and the women followed, their reluctance palpable. Methodically, they descended the ladder, Will coaching them to minimize carbon dioxide exhalation. During a brief respite, Katie shared a survival story from the invasion's initial chaos, how she'd fought her boyfriend, wielded a frying pan, and escaped in his car, a split-second decision that saved her life. The final descent brought unexpected terror. A Reaper materialized, forcing an immediate retreat. Will's bullets proved futile against the creature's relentless pursuit, driving the group into a desperate dead-end scenario. With survival hanging by a thread, Will commanded absolute silence, lights extinguished, breaths held. The Reaper's tentacle probed the darkness, brushing horrifyingly close to their faces. Will's strategic use of a flare momentarily startled the creature, providing a narrow escape route through a partially collapsed tunnel. In their frantic scramble, tragedy struck. Katie took a fatal misstep, ensnared by the Reaper's merciless tentacles. Will could only watch in horror as Katie was dragged deeper into the mine's unforgiving darkness, her fate sealed in an instant of terrible vulnerability. In a moment of desperate survival, Nina discovers a ladder, providing her and Will a narrow escape from the pursuing Reaper. They climb to a higher level, their hearts racing with each desperate movement. Finally emerging from the mine, they breach the surface, safely returning to the boundary of their protected zone. Their journey continues, and fortune offers a rare gift: an almost intact pickup truck, a potential lifeline in this desolate landscape. Before setting off, they seek shelter in an abandoned house, discovering unexpected food supplies that become their lifeline for the night. During their modest dinner, memories of Tara and Katie flood their conversation. Will's guilt weighs heavily, but Nina provides a different perspective. Channel your anger into fighting, she advises, her words cutting through his despair. Nina unveils her ambitious plan, returning to her laboratory to retrieve magnesium. Her theory is audacious. The Reaper's seemingly impenetrable scales generate magnetic defensive mechanisms. A magnesium-infused bullet could potentially penetrate their armor, igniting an internal fire and destroying the creature. Will's response is visceral and angry. He calls her theory unproven, blaming her for the deaths of Tara, Katie, and countless others. Nina's retort is sharp and philosophical. He now faces the same impossible decisions that have haunted their survival. The next morning brings them to the hospital, a mission-critical search for oxygen filters. The building stands in ruins, thoroughly looted. Forced to ascend to the top floor, they finally locate the desperately needed filters in an abandoned operating room. Their momentary relief shatters with the distinctive sounds of an approaching reaper. The hunt begins anew. As the creature catches and grabs Will, Nina's response is instantaneous and brutal. With a fire axe, she severs its tentacle, further enraging the monster. Retreating to the operating room, Will makes a strategic decision. He orders Nina to escape while he targets gas canisters. The resulting explosion propels the reaper through the window, leaving it motionless below. Mission accomplished, Will's thoughts turn immediately to his son, but Nina offers a compelling alternative. Her magnesium bullet could represent humanity's last hope. She promises to raise her pirate flag, a symbol of defiance, ensuring that Tara's and Katie's sacrifices would not be in vain. Reluctantly, Will agrees. Their journey leads them to Nina's former laboratory at the U.S. Department of Energy. Here, surrounded by remnants of a world now lost, she begins the meticulous process of crafting what might become humanity's weapon of salvation, the magic bullet. While Nina works, Will discovers a photograph that reveals a deeply personal tragedy. Nina had a family who perished during the Reaper invasion, with her survival attributed solely to being at work that fateful day. Her raw confession unveils years of unrelenting guilt, the regret of not embracing her loved ones one final time. Will attempts to console her, arguing that she couldn't have prevented their fate. Nina's response is devastating in its simplicity. A life without meaning holds no value. Recognizing the complexity of her mission, she urges Will to return to Hunter, whose time is critically limited. She promises to continue her work and join him later. Reluctantly, Will departs in the pickup. Nina's scientific mind suddenly sparks with inspiration. A power cell suggests using cobalt instead of magnesium. Just as she completes her breakthrough bullet, a Reaper attacks. Will's journey takes a catastrophic turn when his truck's tires blow out, causing a violent crash into a roadside tree. Forced to run toward the safety line, he finds himself cornered by approaching Reapers. As he fires his gun, fully expecting death, a spectacular intervention occurs. Nina arrives dramatically, her cobalt-infused bullets causing the Reapers to detonate spectacularly. Their subsequent examination reveals a shocking truth. The Reapers are not biological creatures, but advanced extraterrestrial machines, confirming Nina's long-held theory. Returning to Lost Gulch, Hunter's joyful reunion with his father marks a moment of hope. Nina raises her pirate flag a beacon of resistance, signaling nearby settlements that a method to destroy the Reapers has been discovered. Radio communications re-establish, and survivors begin spreading instructions for crafting the special cobalt bullets. A poignant memorial visit follows, where Nina and Will leave a bullet inscribed with Katie's name at the monument's base. Soon, teams of hunters armed with cobalt bullets set out, and explosions echo through the Rocky Mountains as Reapers are systematically destroyed. The post-credit scene introduces an intriguing twist. Nina stargazing through her telescope, joined by Will. Together, they witness 3 mysterious glowing objects entering Earth's orbit, a tantalizing hint of potential future conflicts.